What if I told you that the most unexpected reunion of the year took place during a peaceful Father's Day backyard barbecue, instead of on a reality show set or the red carpet? Yes, you read correctly. While the internet was still reeling from the chaos of the Bed Awards, Remy Ma's walkout, the missing wedding ring, and that famous side-eye captured in 4K, Papoose pulled a plot twist in 01 that they had on their 2025 bingo card, and guess who is front and center? Claressa is smiling like the proud first lady of a messy kingdom, but Remy, oh Remy, was nowhere to be found, and the streets are roaring. Was this reunion a sincere family get-together or a calculated attempt to humiliate Remy Ma after months of quiet conflict? We have the leaked video, the dubious family text threads, and even the apology that never made it to Instagram. So hold on tight, because this isn't just a family reunion, it's a full-fledged redemption plot with a dash of retaliation. Everything we thought we knew about Papoose, Claressa, loyalty, silence, and true love was completely upended by this 57-second video. It starts with no fancy editing, just a slow pan over a small backyard setup with folding chairs, dollar store balloons, a BLUETOOTH speaker playing a quiet R&B instrumental, and a quiet reunion that set the internet on fire. There was no press release, no promo, no headlines in the blogs, just a tight hug. And there he is, Papoose, dressed in all black, as if he is entering a funeral or a fight, but what follows is not death but resurrection, because a young man with a thin, clean-cut, soft-featured face that looks exactly like Papoose's before. The pain emerges from behind the makeshift decoration arch. You can tell by the way they look at each other that this isn't a staged reunion. This isn't some reality show setup, and it's years of silence that break open. The two stand for a moment, without saying anything, just tension, and then they embrace, not a quick or courteous one. This is what family really looks like. Claressa's shields, she's not just there, she's behind the lens. She helped plan this. She made it happen. And the person not there, Remy Ma, the silence surrounding her absence is deafening, and the fans noticed. Immediately, comment sections exploded within hours. People weren't talking about it. It's the kind of embrace that makes everyone in the background go silent. You don't hear the music anymore, just soft cries and a camera person trying not to shake. Just asking questions. They were starting investigations. Where was Remy? Why wasn't she there? Why has she been silent about Papoose's son for years? And now, when the most significant event in his life has come and gone? Sources close to the family say this reunion has been building for years. According to leaked direct messages between a low-tier blog and someone posing as a cousin, Papoose had tried to get in touch with his son privately twice before, once in 2022 and again last year. Both times, according to those messages, someone in the household advised in the 24 hours following the video leak, hashtags like hashtag #RealFatherEnergy and hashtag #SheDID single quotes TS, however were trending, and not in Remy's favor, because this isn't just a family reunion. It's a direct contradiction of every narrative we've been fed for the past 10 years. The devoted couple, the perfect love story, the ride-or-die support, now shattered by one hug and one woman holding a camera who used to be known as the homewrecker. Insiders claim that Claressa was the one who initiated contact. She contacted Papoose's son weeks prior to Father's Day, set up the venue, and assisted in writing the speech, which Papoose never finished because he broke down in tears. One eyewitness even revealed on a private gossip forum that Claressa paid for the food and decorations. This was not a show or a publicity stunt. Rather, it was someone who was doing what needed to be done when no one else would. It's amazing that the woman who was dragged for stealing someone else's man is now being commended for helping that man get back on his feet. Remy Ma, on the other hand, has posted nothing, liked nothing, made no statement, made no comment, and made no denial. Just silence and a highly filtered Instagram story about self-care that didn't go as planned. The public's response has been harsh. One fan wrote, "Imagine being married to someone for years and they never gave you the strength to do what Claressa did in 3 months." Another fan wrote, "Charlotte out here mothering a whole situation Remy ignored. Just online rumors." A media executive from a popular streaming service told us, without revealing their identity, that a brief documentary pitch about the reunion has already been approved and that Claressa will be listed as a co-producer. Whether this is strategic or symbolic, one thing is certain. this woman is not going to disappear. As for Papoose, he hasn't spoken out publicly, but his actions speak louder than any verse he's ever rapped. Since the reunion, he has been spotted in numerous pictures with his son, including a private dinner in Harlem where the two. It's hard to overstate how much of a narrative shift this is. For years, Remy and Papoose were hip-hop's moral compass, the example that everyone pointed to. Now people are wondering how much of it was real and how much was just a survival story wrapped in PR. Claressa, who once stated in a post-fight interview that she knows how to win in silence, may have just won more than any belt can offer. Reportedly toasted to new beginnings, a waitress at the restaurant claimed she heard Papoose say, "I'm never letting him go again." Critics who once called her a homewrecker have since changed their minds, but the questions still remain. Why now? Why this reunion at this time? Was it a reaction to something we haven't seen yet? Did Papoose finally lose it? Or did Claressa force him to do something he's always wanted to do but never could? And what about Remy Ma? Is she hurt? Is she removing herself from the situation, or is this her way of punishing both of them quietly? After all, it's a loud move to remain silent during a storm. The footage may have gone viral in less than a day, but the cracks in this family's foundation were years in the making. Behind that Father's Day hug, there was a long trail of missed calls, ignored messages, emotional damage, and silence that wasn't just deafening. Part 2, however, is where we go deep into the power dynamics, the years of silence, and the family secrets that might finally explain why this reunion didn't happen sooner. We have receipts, phone logs, and a therapist note that purportedly confirms everything Papoose was afraid to say aloud. The reunion was almost cancelled at the last minute, according to sources close to Papoose's circle. This is because, just days before the event, an anonymous message was sent to the son's phone. There is no name, no return address, just a single line. Not everyone needs to be forgiven, and no one can confirm who sent it. This is what the internet didn't know when it shared and reshared that reunion video. That hug was never supposed to happen, at least not if certain people had their way. If you think this all sounds like a twisted drama, brace yourself because it gets worse. It turns out that Papoose had been going to therapy covertly for more than 6 months, not for himself but for how to approach a reunion with his son. The therapist, who spoke on condition of anonymity, said the biggest obstacle was fear, not fear of the son's reaction, but fear of the timing. This was especially true when that same number was later linked to a burner account that had previously commented on posts defending Remy Ma's parenting choices. It's not an easy position to be in, but what pushed Papoose over the edge was allegedly a leaked phone log that showed Remy had blocked the son's number after a heated text exchange last year that hasn't been confirmed but is being discussed in fan forums and so-called inside blogs. The sessions revealed something that was never stated aloud in interviews but always hovered underneath. Papoose felt he had to choose between being a loyal husband and being a supportive father. Contained son messages that said, "You don't have to understand me, just don't erase me." The supposed response was, "You bring too much chaos." And that word stuck because that's precisely what the public is now accusing Remy of hiding behind a reputation for order. For years she developed a narrative of strength, redemption, and family in which a woman who made mistakes paid her dues and supported her man. However, if the messages are genuine, it means she was choosing silence over, according to someone close to Claressa's team, Claressa, who never pretended to be anyone's moral compass, was encouraging Papoose to embrace his truth through quiet action rather than public gestures. She even contacted a community organizer in New York who specializes in LGBTQ+ family therapy. No, she didn't post about it, she didn't tag anyone, and she didn't give a speech because it wasn't about appearances. The backlash isn't limited to social media. There are rumors of canceled brand deals. One podcast platform that had been in talks with Remy for a motherhood series reportedly pulled out quietly last week. A representative for the company said only, "We're moving in a new direction." Remy, on the other hand, hasn't said a word, made no clarification, or even posted a vague post about family dynamics or personal healing. Different direction. Speaking of directions, let's talk about Papoose. The man who once remained in the background of his wife is now taking center stage, and he's not just standing there quietly, he's creating something. According to sources, He's currently in negotiations with 2 major streaming services to executive produce a documentary about fatherhood and redemption, and guess who's rumored to be in episode 1? His son, not Remy. It's not about the romance or the marriage, just the unadulterated truth. The story doesn't end there because something is brewing behind the scenes. This is a man who once rapped about loyalty like it was religion, but now he's living it in a way no one expected. Not through marriage vows, but through a Father's Day video that might just redefine who he is to the world. And more than any drama, it's what people are reacting to: the vulnerability, the transparency, and the decision to do the right thing even when it's late. The platform is a major urban media outlet known for exclusive tell-alls and damage control. The topic is motherhood betrayal and what she's calling the full truth. Insiders say the interview will frame the reunion as an ambush that Remy wasn't invited to, that she was purposefully excluded to paint her in a negative light that Papoose and he put her in. Word is that Remy is preparing her own side of the story through a carefully crafted sit-down interview that has already been filmed, but hasn't been broadcast yet. If this was about family, why wait and why hide? Even more damning are the rumors that this isn't the only family breakup being kept quiet. Another unnamed relative has hinted at other family conflicts, implying that Papoose's decision to go public may have been driven by factors other than love, such as legacy, control, or rewriting his place in hip-hop. Whether this is true or not, the timing of Claressa's silence followed by a polished interview is raising red flags. Family tree before someone else narrates it for him because, let's not be misled, this is about narrative, not just acceptance. Who gets to control it, who gets to speak, and who gets left out? For the time being, Claressa and Papoose are the ones in front of a camera together, unapologetic. But Remy's silence is getting heavier, and when she does speak, it will be sharp, calculated, and possibly explosive. As we approach the scandal's final chapter, the stakes are higher than ever before. Relationships have changed, allegiances have changed, and for those who have been watching closely, the reunion may have felt like closure, but behind the tears and viral hugs, something much more calculated has been going on beneath the surface. Family secrets don't stay buried forever, and now with rumors of legal action, confidential footage is leaking to journalists and networks. The audience, people watching at home, sharing links, and debating in comment sections are no longer passive. They are choosing sides, and those sides are drawing battle lines through a family that was once thought to be unbreakable. The reunion was only one part of a larger project. Not just advisories, but a full narrative rebranding campaign, and it's already underway. Claressa has reportedly signed a deal with a major production house to executive produce a limited series centered around second chances and the media team. The hug was real, the moment was genuine, but what comes next is where the gloves come off, according to a private source who claims to have access to the Shield's Papoose media team. It was a chess move, and when Remy Ma learned of it, she did what everyone feared. She called her lawyers. We were informed that she was looking into defamation options, intellectual property claims, and even the right to have her name removed from any future projects involving her image or marriage. That's right, Remy Ma might legally distance herself not just from Papoose but from the entire plot. Reunion footage was submitted as part of the pitch deck. Quiet meetings, confidential edits, contracts signed under NDAs, and confidential meetings. Because she sees it as a gradual deterioration of her legacy by those she once considered family. Now, let's talk about the leak. A few days after part 2 of this story went viral, an anonymous email appeared in the inboxes of 3 different gossip blogs. The email purported to include audio from a therapy session between Papoose and a family counselor. In the clip, a man who sounded exactly like Papoose says, "I waited for years hoping she'd come around, but when she told me, 'That's your burden, not mine,' I knew we were done." With a takedown notice, but the damage was already done. Screenshots went viral, and fans were suddenly quoting rather than speculating. The clip changed everything by portraying Remy Ma as dismissive rather than absent, providing context for her silence and igniting Claressa's quiet but consistent role as the silent enabler of healing. While Remy was handling optics, Claressa was handling people. The contrast cannot be more public, which is precisely why this story has now escalated into a full-blown crisis for Remy Ma's brand. Let's talk numbers since the reunion. Footage leaked, Papoose's streaming numbers have increased by 32%, and he gained over 400,000 followers on social media in less than a week. Meanwhile, Remy has lost 2 small endorsements and reportedly had an upcoming TV appearance postponed indefinitely due to what was described as ongoing family instability. That's not just a rumor. This is a power shift that's happening quickly, and even internally there's chaos. Allegedly, members of Remy's own before the interview airs, the management team has begun contacting the media to get her side of the story straight. According to one insider, the previously mentioned recorded interview has been re-edited to include statements about Papoose's past infidelity, Claressa's alleged meddling in her marriage, and a section about emotional manipulation that she claims was used against her. The issue with that approach, though, is that it feels like a late reaction, like damage control from someone who never imagined the story would turn this way. Papoose's son, whose name we're still choosing not to publish out of respect, has also broken his silence. In a private Instagram story that was screen-recorded and leaked by a mutual follower, he shared a black and white photo of himself and his father at the reunion with the caption, "It's been a long time coming. I missed you. Thank you for seeing me." The public can smell panic. Remy Ma has been the one holding the microphone for 10 years, sharing her story in her past, but at this moment, she's quiet while others speak louder and are being heard. People are now asking, why didn't Remy see him? Why did it take this long? Why did it take Claressa to bring a father and son back together? The questions are no longer whispers. They are loud, public, and unrelenting. Unless Remy's response is flawless, the audience she spent years building may not be as forgiving. And that, more than anything, was the final gut punch because that caption told a deeper story that he had been there waiting all along. Twist. A rumored restraining clause in Papoose and Remy's prenuptial agreement, according to a purported leak, prohibits either party from publicly humiliating the other or interfering with her career path in the event of a divorce. If true, this clause could determine whether Remy even has the legal authority to contest the content of Claressa's upcoming docuseries. If it is true, it could silence her, and fans have already begun to speculate that this is the reason she's taking her time. However, Claressa isn't slowing down, getting ready for a press run that includes podcast interviews, a cover story for an athletic lifestyle magazine, and possibly a guest appearance on a talk show where the reunion will be the main topic. She's leaning in rather than running, which worries people who thought she would disappear once the heat got too high. Instead, she's taking control of the spotlight that was given to her, not stealing it. What does all of this mean for Papoose? For years, he was the quiet one, the man who supported Remy when others wouldn't, but now he's the center of the story, and the public is watching him with respect rather than curiosity because he chose love when so many men choose to remain silent. Although it came late, it came loud and unapologetic in front of the public. The reunion wasn't about appearances. Rather, it was about regaining something he had lost years ago, a relationship, a connection, and a sense of peace. With Claressa by his side, he did what he couldn't do before. He decided to stop hiding, stop putting things off, and stop making excuses, and now the dominoes are falling quickly as the dust settles. It is evident that this was not merely a viral moment. Rather, it was a reckoning for Remy Ma, Papoose, Claressa, and every family that has ever allowed silence to triumph over love. Now we ask you, the viewers, fans, and those who have followed the story from the start, what do you think? Was this reunion a sincere act of healing, or was it a calculated media move to shift public sympathy? Did Claressa save this family or split it forever? Is Remy Ma the villain or just someone who was finally outplayed? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on, and there you have it, a Father's Day reunion that wasn't just about family, but also about power, silence, and the truth finally coming out of the shadows. Papoose didn't just embrace his son. He hugged a version of himself that he had buried years ago. Claressa didn't just support him, she planned one of the most daring moves we've seen in hip-hop family drama in years. Subscribe for more exclusive breakdowns, leaks, and inside stories, because if this story demonstrates anything, it's that the truth is louder than fiction. In the age of receipts, silence is no longer protection, it's a statement. If this story has taught us anything, it's that no one's legacy is safe when the cameras roll. The question now isn't what happened, but rather what will happen next. Will Remy Ma respond with a televised tell-all that flips the sympathy script? Will Claressa double down and go from Gua to stepmother of the year? Will Papoose continue to peel back layers of truth until we're left with a full-on documentary series about redemption, regret, and true love? We don't just report the tea, we pour it boiling. This is the drama. They tried to bury the footage they tried to erase. The reunion that rocked a marriage. The reunion that reignited a father's fight, and the revelation that made one woman the most unexpected player in the game. If you wish to see more stories like this, the ones they don't want you to hear, make sure you like this video. Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel.